Welcome to Kermode Uncut, where we're counting down the best and worst films released in UK cinemas in 2017. In the previous blog, I did numbers 10 to number 6 of my favourite films of the year. Now here's 10 to 6 of the worst. So at number 10, and it gives me no pleasure to have this included at all, Alien Covenant, Ridley Scott's completely unnecessary prequel to Alien. My problem with this film is very simple. Quite apart from the fact that it's derivative and unoriginal and doesn't do anything new with a story we already know very well, it has the problem of undermining a film I already loved. The thing with Alien is it doesn't have backstory, it doesn't have explanation, it doesn't have mythological ooga booga, it just has its scenario, and there is something brilliantly random about it. Now along comes Alien Covenant, which follows on from the already problematic Prometheus, and we're told that there are several more movies before we actually get to Alien. I'm sorry, but can we just leave this alone? Some of us love Alien, some of us don't want to know the backstory, and in fact, some of us don't believe any of this stuff is actually necessary for anything other than making money.
Where is it?
So on to number 9 in my list of least favourite films released in UK cinemas in 2017, and a bit of a surprise, Rough Night. Now, Rough Night billed itself as an attempt to do a kind of girls-only reversioning of The Hangover, something with lots of crass, vulgar comedy that we could all enjoy because it's sort of laugh-out-loud stupid. The premise of Rough Night is this. A group of old friends get together, hire a stripper who then dies, and they have to dispose of his body. Because, let's face it, disposing of a dead stripper's body is always really funny, right? Weirdly, the really big problem with Rough Night isn't the sort of crass vulgarity of its central unfunny idea. The real problem is we're meant to believe that this is a group of friends who have history. They all look like they're literally meeting on camera for the first time, and as a result, the film itself just lies there on the floor, limp and lifeless, like the corpse.
Right? Smile more.
So, at number 8 in my least favourite films of the year, Justice League. And I decided to do this review in the style of Henry Cavill. Yes, Henry Cavill, who doesn't have a moustache in Justice League due to the brilliance of CGI.
It's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.
So on to number 7, and I have to say that despite the fact that it features in my list of worst films of the year, it's also something of a guilty pleasure. Because Geostorm is a film that while you're watching it, actually makes you more and more stupid. And the stupider I got, the more I enjoyed it. Here's the plot. Somebody has weaponized the weather after Gerard Butler, that's right, Gerard Butler came up with a system of stopping bad weather by blowing up clouds. That's pretty much the whole plot. I mean, the brilliant thing about Geostorm is the version that finally got released here is a re-edit after the original version went down badly with test audiences. I really want to see the original version because it must be a total hoot.
Hold on!
Barrier.
Which brings us to number 6, and Flatliners. Now, if you're my age, you'll remember seeing Flatliners the first time round, directed by Joel Schumacher, a story about medical students stopping their heart so that they could experience out-of-body weirdness. But they did it all wearing sort of blouson shirts with big, full hair trees and mullets and lots of backlighting. Now along comes a remake. Or is it a remake? Or is it a sequel? No one's quite sure, and frankly, no one actually cares, in which all the same stuff happens again, but without the mad hair trees and without the blowy shirts and without the backlighting. Now, Flatliners, the remake, is unbelievably boring and unbelievably stupid, although Flatliners, the original, was unbelievably stupid but not quite so boring. Here's an interesting thing, though. Kiefer Sutherland is in the remake, and originally, his character was connected to his character in the original film by a scene which was then cut out after the producers realised that people coming to see the new version didn't know or care about the old version. So, it's the sequel no one wanted to the film no one remembered in the first place.
This was my fault.
So there we are, numbers 10 to number 6 of my least favourite films released in UK cinemas in 2017. In the next Kermode Uncut blog, number 5 to number 1 of my favourite films of the year.